Hey kids, how are you? It's Mr. Lohan. I just wanted to touch up a little bit about the Milgram experiment and the two videos that we did. And today is Thursday, and I guess April 8th. And every morning I like to go hiking. So right about now it's about 8 o'clock. I have the morning meeting with Miss Tanya in a little while, so I gotta skedaddle back. But this is one of my favorite hiking places, and as you can see here, there's a couple of yellow lines. And when I first found this place, I realized that there were these yellow lines. Ooh, oh my God, a turkey. There's a turkey right there. Did you see him? He just ran around the thing. Man, that scared the Nixon right out of me. Where did he go? Yeah, he's gone. I saw a hunter just before. He scared the snot out of me too. But look, that's not important right now. Okay, we need to focus. All right, because I got stuff coming out of the woodwork right now. Woo-hoo. Wow, it's not boring out here. Let me tell you. And anyway, so you see these double yellow lines. So I said to myself, wait a minute, what's going on here? This isn't like a regular trail. And then I looked over here and I could see that the asphalt kind of goes all the way into here. And on the other side as well. And if you can look in the distance, there's the main highway kind of on that ridge. And I don't know if you can hear it, but that's the one I usually take when I go over the Bear Mountain Bridge. And that road, Route 6, takes me over into here. So when I saw this, I said to myself, what was here? So when I'm confronted with a mystery, it's not like I'm trying to find a giant box with a ribbon on it, and I just have to throw open the ribbon and open up the box and there's all my answers. It's more of an onion effect. I'm peeling things back. Okay? Just like here, I'm peeling things back. I'm doing a little research. Then the next day I'll come back, I'll walk around a little bit, maybe I'll go a little further up the road, that way. Maybe I'll go home, I'll do a little research. And it's pretty interesting. Actually, this was the only road. And they bought all this land up and they turned it into a state park, and they basically created a dead end at the edge of the state park. So this road essentially turned into a dead zone. The houses and everything kind of just became regular houses. They ran some electrical wires through here, if you can see. And they built the Route 6, which I can only think that they did on an engineering point of view, because it's more of a, it's a pretty steep road, but it's probably not as steep as this one. And I can only imagine, like, as somebody who drives a lot, like just going down this road at 45 miles, 50 miles an hour in the ice and snow. So there must have been a lot of accidents. And so they were like, all right, we got to, or whatever, I don't know. But this is called Central Valley. And if you can see in the distance, that's the valley. And there's mountains on one side, there's mountains on the other. And so now we have this road that is basically falling apart. And in 50 years, you could see how nature has kind of taken it back, which is kind of interesting. And that reminds me of Milgram. Only 2 students were able to find what I was looking for. Okay, looking at the video, you get the sense that Milgram was what? He was exposing humanity's behavior. All right, and it was a very key time because the Israelis had just captured a guy by the name of Adolf Eichmann, and he was very famous. He was a big catch for the Jews, for the Israelis, because he had killed so many people in France for the Nazis, and he was very good at it. He's very successful at it. And not only did they capture him alive, but they actually brought him to trial in Israel. And a lot of it's, you can get it on audio, or you can get it on video. And it's really important because his defense team basically said he did what he did because he was being ordered to do it. He's a soldier. Soldiers follow orders. End of story. Regardless of how inhumane and savage it was. And that's what Milgram started out to focus on. But when you get to the radio lab, you start to see a different scenario. First of all, he didn't just do one, okay? He didn't do one experiment, but he did the same experiment in different ways. And sometimes the people were far away in another room, but other times the person was right there holding his hand. You know, he had different variations of the same exercise. And what happens is his conclusions were, yes, people can be very savage and beastly to other people when they're ordered to, when they are far away. And that's true. But then what happens is when you start to increase the contact, okay, maybe you can hear the guy, or maybe you can actually see the guy behind glass and see his expressions, or actually even hold his hand, or maybe get a chance to talk to him beforehand, before the experiment starts. I mean, he had something like 80 or 100 different versions, and you have to, as a scientist, you have to, especially when you're looking at behavior. And what he found was a little bit more nuanced, and that's the point I want to make. People, especially in today's day and age, people want to punch you. They want to hit you really hard with a really strong idea. Okay? 10-second soundbite, a blurb, an advertisement. Okay? And yes, it's all propaganda on some level. And people get paid a lot of money for it. But the point is that you don't have to fall into that trap. Okay? And just like this road that you see here, okay, it takes some investigation on your part. All right? Peel back the layers, little by little. All right? One thing, one layer will lead to another layer, will lead to another. You might even have to go back a couple of spots. Okay? But the real truth tends to be a little bit more nuanced. Yes, the Nazis killed 6 million Jews. But do you know they also killed 10 million Germans? People don't want to talk about that. Isn't Hitler responsible for the killing of 10 million Germans? Or the 20 million Russians? You see what I'm saying? Isn't Adolf Eichmann as much a war criminal for the Jews as he was for the Germans? I mean, where does the machine start and the machine end? Are we going to pick one man? Are we going to say that he's the one? He's the culprit? He's the cancer? And for me, the cancer is much deeper than that. Okay? And as you'll see in the next video with the bad show, you're going to see with Iago and Shakespeare and the Green River Killer, you're going to realize that what it really comes down to is something beyond us. And that's evil. Okay? That's evil. And it didn't just land in Weimar, Germany in 1933. Okay? Just like it landed in Cambodia in 1975. Or Russia in 1946 with the Gulag. I mean, I can go on and on, but the point of the matter is that when you really start peeling back these layers, people start getting uncomfortable. Okay? And that's not the time to back off. That's the time to move in. Because when people start getting uncomfortable, that's usually probably where the truth is. Humans have a really excellent ability to bury their head in the sand. And here I am. This is it. This is the dead end. And if you look, you'll see a wire that goes across it. And that's it. That's basically where the road begins. This is where they drew the line and said, okay, this is where the dead end is. Don't cross this line. But it just makes me think, like, what would it have been like if this road stayed? You know? Would they have built houses around here? Would they have put up malls, or would they have leveled the road? I don't know, but it certainly inspires the imagination for good and evil. So take a look at The Bad Show, Part 3.